So write down, today's topic is going to be relative velocity of two inclined motions. Okay. So today's plan is, I will explain you what is relative velocity in two-dimensional motion. Then I'll give you an assignment, which whatever I'm going to solve today will be coming as an assignment, the remaining questions. So you work on that along with the doubts you have for today and the previous doubts. Okay. I'll clear it tomorrow. So since you have practiced the first two assignments, you will be able to understand this concept better today. Okay, so concentrate. It is very simple. There is only one simple formula, and that's what is going to give you the answer for all the problems in this chapter. Okay, so the concept of relative velocity we have already dealt in the previous chapter, right? So you remember that. So the concept of relative velocity is already dealt. So what do you mean by relative velocity? So what is relative velocity? Tell me.
v1 minus v2.
Yes. So it is comparison of velocities. That is, if you have velocity of one object with respect to two, you write it as v1 minus v2. This is what I explained in the previous chapter. So there what we dealt was the relative velocity in one dimension, because the chapter itself was motion of an object in one dimension. It was either horizontal motion or vertical motion. Whereas in this chapter, what is happening? We are going to deal with relative velocity in two-dimensional motion. So what is going to happen is the same formula is applicable here also. So the formula, the actual formula for relative velocity, whether it is going to be one-dimensional motion or two-dimensional motion, is given as velocity of first vector with respect to second vector is velocity of the first vector minus velocity of the second vector. Okay. So what happens in the case of two-dimensional motion is, along with the direction, it becomes a scalar quantity. That's what we have dealt with. But the formula that you can remember is velocity of the first vector with respect to second is velocity of the first vector minus velocity of the second vector. Or sometimes we write it as velocity of A vector with respect to B vector is velocity of A vector minus velocity of B vector. Again, the concept of relative is not applicable only for velocity. It can be displacements, it can be accelerations, right? It can be anything. See, for example, if I ask you what is the relative acceleration of one with respect to two, then you write it as A12 is equal to A1 minus A2. But ensure if it is a vector quantity, you write them with vector notations, because when you write it in the form of vector notation, the I cap, J cap, and K cap, that is the orthogonal unit vectors, will take care of the directions. There is no possibility of you going wrong. If you don't put it as a vector, it is you who has to choose the sign, and there is a definite probability that you will make a mistake. Because in some hurry, we might forget to take the sign into consideration. But if you write it in the vectorial notation, there is nothing that is going to get missed. So if you ask me what it is, the relative velocity in two dimension is only this much. That's it. This is what is relative velocity in two dimension. So you can understand this better by solving the problems. So is it clear till this step? Is the concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we do a few problems based on it? Now see. So it is given as relative velocity of two inclined motion. Inclined motion is because one is going to make an angle with the other, because they are moving in a plane. They are not moving in a line. Line is one dimensional, plane is two dimensional. So as I told you, the formula used. So you will be getting this assignment today. I think there are only 10 problems, I think. So the relative velocity of A with respect to B is given as velocity of A vector minus velocity of B vector. Similarly, B with respect to A is B minus A. Okay. So if there are two objects which are moving with velocity VA and VB and making an angle theta, then the relative velocity of an object A with respect to B, whose magnitude alone is given as root of VA square plus VB square minus 2VA VB cos theta. How this has come I will explain it as a problem. I'm just trying to teach you with a different approach. So whatever approach I'm going to teach you today, you solve the problems only using that method. Am I clear in this? Right. So as of now, you need not concentrate on these two formulae. I will tell you how you can use them. So let's look at the first problem. So there is a boat which is moving with a velocity of 3i cap plus 4j cap with respect to ground. So velocity of boat with respect to ground. I gave you a term for this. Any velocity calculated with respect to ground is called as absolute velocity. Do you guys remember this? Because the velocity of the ground is taken to be 0. So actually VBG is nothing but VB minus VG, but VG is generally 0. So this will become VB. So the velocity of the boat is given as 3i cap plus 4j cap. So there is a small correction to be done in my notation. Can someone correct it? There is a small correction to be done.
Sir.
It's the vector symbol, right? Similarly, the water in the river is moving with a velocity of minus 3i cap minus 4j cap. So velocity of water is given as minus 3i cap minus 4j cap. Are you guys able to understand this? With respect to the ground, so it is absolute velocity of water. What is the relative velocity of boat with respect to water? So this is what they are asking. So how do I write it? It is velocity vector of boat minus the velocity vector of water. So what is the velocity vector of boat? 3i cap plus 4j cap minus of minus 3i cap minus 4j cap. So what do I get the answer as? 3i cap plus 3i cap. It is going to be 6i cap
Plus 8j cap.
8j cap.
Okay, units are not there, so don't write it as meter per second. You will go wrong because they didn't tell what units it is following. So you can leave it as it is. So this is what is the velocity of boat with respect to water. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. See, for every problem, I'm going to give you an extra term. Make it a practice. Listen. So what is the answer? Velocity of boat with respect to river vector is 6i cap plus 8j cap. Okay. See, in some questions they will ask you what is the direction in which the relative velocity is acting. Direction in which okay. So let me explain this question with visualization. See, try to understand. If I take this as the basic coordinate system, okay? If I take this as a basic coordinate system, then what is the direction or what are the coordinates the velocity component of the boat is having? So this 3i cap plus 4j cap means 3 units along x-axis and 4 units along y-axis. Actually, vectors and coordinate geometry are related chapter. Okay. So 3 and 4, if you look at the x coefficient and y coefficient, are they positive or negative? Both are positive. So the boat is trying to move in which quadrant?
First.
It is moving in the first quadrant. Okay. So can I put it like this? Right. So this will be velocity of boat is equal to, what is it? 3i cap plus 4j cap. I hope you are able to visualize this part, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
what is happening to the water? The water is in minus 3i cap minus 4j cap. It is exactly the opposite. Means they both are negative. Means how is the water flowing? Is the boat
Opposite
flowing with the
direction.
So water is trying to oppose it. Am I right? So observe. It is going to be like this. I'm giving a different color to water. Observe. Water blue. So water is flowing in this direction. So velocity of water is minus 3I cap minus 4J cap. So what is the question? Velocity of boat with respect to water means what is the velocity of the boat with which actually he is moving against the water? That is the meaning. So he is actually moving with a speed of 6I cap plus 6J cap. Okay, how is it? How is the 6I cap plus 6J cap going to be? It will be somewhat like this. So he is moving with a speed of, this is the velocity of boat with respect to water. Can I write it as 6I cap plus 8J cap? Meaning of this is actually he is rowing with what speed? The boat is actually moving with a speed of 3I cap plus 4J cap. But the water, since it is in the opposite direction, the person in the boat will actually feel that he is actually rowing with this much speed. Okay, so this is what is going to happen. When this is happening, this is making some angle with the x-axis, right? So that is the meaning of direction. So till now you would have applied this formula: tan beta is equal to q sine theta divided by t plus q cos theta. You did it, no? Everything is related. Observe. So whenever you have a quantity like this, whenever you have a vector like this, xi cap plus yj cap, then tan theta can be written as the coefficient of j divided by the coefficient of x. Okay. So in this case, how can I write tan theta as? Tan theta will be equal to 8 divided by 6, that will be 4 by 3. So theta will be equal to tan inverse of 4 by 3. So what we are trying to say is the relative velocity is making an angle of tan inverse of 4 by 3 with respect to the x-axis. Are you guys able to visualize this? See, nobody will ask you all these things. It is for me to explain what is the physics behind it. Nobody will question all these things. Am I clear on this? Are you able to slightly visualize what is the meaning of this relative velocity?
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah. So this is going to be 3I cap plus 4J cap. Shall we move on to the next one?
Okay, sir.
Yes. So there is a particle which is moving in a straight line with a velocity of 3 meters per second. Another particle Q has a velocity of 4 meters per second at an angle of 30 degrees to the path of P. Find the speed of Q relative to P. Can you guys simply try and see? I'll just give you 2 minutes time. You people try, no? Even if it is wrong, it is fine. Is there anyone who can tell me an idea how to proceed? Is there anyone who want to at least tell me? I'll whatever you say, I'll write it on the paper. You tell me. So they are saying a particle is there is a particle p which is moving along a straight line with velocity of 3 meter per second, right? So what they told straight line, but they didn't mention any direction. So which direction do you want to take?
Along x-axis is
X-axis.
Positive or negative? It is up to
positive.
you. You want to take it as positive x-axis. Okay, let me give a different color. Take red. So there is a person who is moving like this. So this is going to be the velocity of the particle, and the velocity of the particle is 3 meter per second. Am I right? So this is 3 meter per second. Now what are they telling about Q? There is another particle Q that has a velocity of 4 meters per second and is moving at an angle of 30 degrees to the path of P. Means, let's say Q is moving somewhere like this, right? Then what is the velocity of Q? It is 4 meter per second. And how much is the angle made by it? It is making an angle of 30 degrees. The meaning of this is, if at all I take this and put it here, okay, if at all I put it like this, then this velocity of Q is going to be 4 meter per second, and it is making an angle of 30 degrees with whom? With the path of P. Am I right? Now what are they asking? They're asking velocity of Q with respect to P. So velocity of Q relative to P is VQ minus VP. So that is 1 meter per second. Am I right? So that's the answer. Is it right?
So then why 30 degrees given, sir?
That's what you people should answer. So I was just verifying. So what mistake did I do?
So we should take components for the
Very
velocity
good.
Q.
Very good. Very good. That is what I was expecting. So you need to resolve it into components. Are you guys able to understand why I asked you to do the previous assignments? So you need to resolve them into two components, meaning this VQ has to get resolved in this direction, and see the resolving component I'm using another color, observe. So I'm using a green. Now concentrate. So this is one component and this is another component of whom? This is a component of whom? Which
Q.
vector?
Q.
Q. So what should I write? VQ?
Cos 30.
Very good. Then this will be VQ
Sin 30.
in 30. That's right. So if I try to write velocity of P as a vector, what will the answer be? So velocity of P in the vector form will be 3 and this
cap.
P is chosen. Very good. It is chosen in the direction of I cap. So similarly, what is the velocity of Q in the vector form? So if you observe, VQ is neither along x direction nor along y direction, but it has the components along the positive x and the positive y. So VQ, can I write it as VQ cos 30 degrees? It has VQ cos 30 in which direction, guys?
Positive x-axis.
It is x direction. So I cap plus VQ sin 30 degrees, it is having in the direction of j. Is it clear? So VQ is 4, cos 30 is root 3 by 2 I cap plus VQ is again 4, sin 30 is half j cap. So this and this will get cancelled. This and this will get cancelled. So 2 root 3 I cap plus 2 j cap. What is the unit? Meter per second. Now will I be able to calculate the relative velocity? So VQP is equal to VQ vector minus VP vector. So what is VQ vector? It is 2 root 3 I cap plus 2 j cap minus what is VP vector? It is 3 I cap. So what will I get? 2 root 3 minus 3 I cap plus 2 j cap meter per second. But what are they asking? The speed. What do you mean by speed? Speed is the magnitude of velocity. That will be square root of 2 root 3 minus 3 square plus 2 square meter per second. Now calculate this and tell me fast what is the answer you are getting. 2 root 3 minus 3 the whole square.
Root of 7.
Root 7. 2 root 3 minus 3. See, root 3 is 1.7. 2 into 1.7 is 3.4. 3.4 minus 3 is
Root
0.4.
Root 11, sir.
Root 11 is 3 point something, no man.
No, sir. Root 7 only, sir. The root 7.
Root 7 is how much? You will not get root 7 actually. You will get root
Root
of
4.16.
4.216 something you will get. See, that's what I was trying to tell you. See, 2 root 3, 2, see, observe how to do the calculation. Don't be in a hurry. Listen, 1 minute, listen to me with patience. Wait, I'll tell you what mistake you do. Listen. See, 2 into root 3 is there. No, root 3 is 1.7. Am I right? So, 2 into 1.7 is how much? 3.4. So, 3.4 minus 3 is under a square. So, 3.4 minus 3 is 0.4 the whole square plus 2 square. That will be 4. So, square root of, how much will you get? 4.16 is what you're going to get. How will you get root 7? So, square root of 4.16 is 2 point something. That 2 point something is what is this? Are you guys able to understand?
Sir, can we resolve the components of VP, sir?
You cannot, because why? You need not resolve the components of VP when it is along x or y direction completely. You will only resolve for those vectors which are neither completely along x direction nor along y direction.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Actually, see, you can do it, but for you to understand that, you need to understand a concept called as rotation of axis, which is slightly above your standard, which I don't want to explain and confuse you. Leave it. Okay. So as of now, have this point in your mind. You will resolve the component of vectors which are neither completely along x direction nor along y direction. That's it. Okay. Now, shall we do the third one? So can you guys try now with the previous problem's knowledge? So to a driver going east in a car with a velocity of 40 km per hour, a bus appears to move towards north with a velocity of 40 root 3 km per hour. What is the actual velocity and direction of the motion of the bus? See, I will write down the data. Tell me whether the data that I'm taking is right or not. I'm just trying to write the data with my understanding. Tell me if it is right or not. So it is not S, it is a driver. To a driver going east. The velocity in a car. So the velocity of the car is 40 km per hour. Is this data right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Wrong, sir. We have to put 40
right.
I cap, no, sir.
No. I'm talking only about magnitudes.
Correct, sir.
And then correct.
It's correct only, right? So next is a bus appears to move. This word appears makes an important. The bus appears to move towards north with the velocity of 40 root 3 km per hour. Means the velocity of bus is 40 root 3 km per hour. Is this right?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
What is the
No.
mistake then?
Sir, it is velocity of B with respect to C.
It is the velocity of the bus with respect to C. Means for the person in the car, it is appearing as if it is moving in the north direction, but it is actually not moving in the north direction. That is why if you see, what is the actual velocity and direction of the motion of the bus is what is asked. Okay. Maybe if this person was stationary and he had reported the answer saying that for me it is appearing in north direction, it is right. But since he is also moving, his velocity will contribute to what he is actually seeing. Are you guys able to understand this point? So you need to be very careful. It is the velocity of bus with respect to car that is given as 40 root 3 km per hour. Are these 2 points clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? Now see, we will solve the problem in 2 steps. It's understood. So velocity of the car is in the direction of east. So velocity of car is how much? 40. Now tell me with direction.
40 I cap.
40 I cap. So what is the velocity of bus with respect to car?
40 root 3 j cap.
It is 40 root 3 j cap. We wrote it as j cap because they told it is moving in the north. But is the bus actually moving in north? We don't know. Okay. The bus will be moving somewhere between these two. It will be moving somewhere over here. We will find out how much that is with the direction. Okay. I'm going to use the same old method. What is the data we have in our hand? So don't forget to put this arrow mark on top. Okay. So velocity of the bus with respect to car is 40 root 3 j cap. But what is the formula for velocity of bus with respect to car? Velocity of bus with respect to car is VB vector minus VC vector, right? So what is it I need to find? We need to find the absolute velocity of the bus. So velocity of bus with respect to car is 40 root 3 j cap is equal to velocity of bus vector I need to find out minus 40 I cap. So what is the velocity of bus, guys? 40 I cap plus
40 root 3 j cap.
j cap. I hope it's clear, right? But what are they asking? What is the actual velocity? So this is the actual velocity. Okay. If you want to find its speed, then velocity vector's magnitude will be root of, tell me, 40 square plus 40 root 3 square. Convinced? So this will be root of 1600 plus 40 square is 1600 into root 3 is 3. So 1600 into 3 is 4800. So 4800 plus 1600 is 6400 under a root. Root of 6400 is 80.
Sir,
So
note,
80 kilometers. Tell me.
sir, VC means velocity of bus with respect to car, no, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in the question they gave velocity of car, no, sir.
No. Let's see. Velocity of car is given. I've written it already.
Yes, sir. Then VB is only the velocity of bus, no, sir. Why are you fighting the speed, sir?
I'm circling a word C. A bus appears to move. Bus is actually not moving. Bus appears to move towards north with a velocity of 40 root 3. Appears meaning he is feeling as if it is moving in the north. It is actually not moving in the north. It is moving in some other direction.
Sir, so the velocity also he is assuming, sir, the driver.
Which one?
40 root 3.
Yeah, that's what. Let us assume he has some sensor in hand. You go on a road, right? Have you ever got caught for, have you ever seen people getting caught for driving fast? Have you seen a police standing and observing? Have you observed it or not? Tell me that.
Yes, sir.
So how do they calculate it?
Speed.
They say they use some sensor, no?
Yes, sir.
Assume in the same way, he is using some sensor. He is able to feel that the velocity of the bus is 40 root. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what happens. So it is 80 kilometer per hour. Okay, but they're asking the direction. Direction means, what did I say? It is the angle. So direction of the velocity vector. So what direction means? What? Tan theta is equal to, if you have xi cap plus yj cap, tan theta is nothing but coefficient of j divided by the coefficient of what?
40.
By 40. So it will get cancelled, it will be root 3. So what is the value of theta? Theta is 60 degrees. So just because I got the answer as 60 and here it is given as 30, nothing is wrong. It is right only. After you get the direction, what did I say? The 60 degrees is made with respect to whom?
With respect to the bus.
With respect to the car. Since in this question it is given in terms of east and north, what you need to say is the bus is moving at an angle of 60 degrees due east. Okay, so let me explain what is the meaning of this east of north. Okay, please make a note of it. There are two words that we use in, there is actually a geographical term, okay, because these directions are related to the geography. One is northeast. If suppose I use a word like northeast, okay, it is understood that the angle is exactly 45 degrees. Okay, northeast means exactly the midpoint. Whereas sometimes we use north of east. Northeast is different from north of east. Okay, north of east means from east you need to turn towards the north. I'm repeating it. North of east means whatever is the term after this of, from that side you need to turn towards the first side. Okay, north of east means you're actually walking in the direction of east and you want to turn towards north. So how much should I report the answer as? It is 60 degrees what? 60 degrees, I write it as north of east. Okay, is this point clear? Are you guys able to understand? Similarly, if it is 30 degrees, what should I say? This 30 degrees is the angle made by the vector with the north. So 30 degrees, what I will say is east of north, means you are going in the direction of north. From north, you have turned 30 degrees towards east. That is the meaning of east of north. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Right? So have this point clear in your mind. See, but this term is very rarely used in CBSE part, at least next year you learn it under a chapter called as magnetism. Okay, but I expect you to remember this. Right, shall I proceed to the next problem? Okay, this one we'll do it at the end. It's slightly tough. Now let's do this one. You guys try and tell me. I don't want this 36 degrees 52 minutes and all. You just tell me in terms of tan inverse, that's enough. So you guys try it. No? A train is moving at the velocity of 30 km per hour due east. A car is moving at the velocity of 40 km per hour due north. What is the velocity of car as appears to a passenger in the train? I want the answer in terms of vectors. Right. So what are they asking? Velocity of car?
With respect to train.
Is it car with respect to train or train with respect to car? How did you understand that it is car with respect to train?
Because they ask the velocity of car as appears to the passenger in train.
Appears to the passenger in the train. So whosoever is observing, the observer should be the second term. Whosoever is moving should be the first term. So it is velocity of car vector minus velocity of train vector. How much will you get? 40 j cap minus 30 I cap. So what is going to be the speed? Square root of 40 square
plus 30 square.
So you know this, right? 40, 30 and 50 are Pythagorean triplets. So you get the answer as 50 kilometer per hour. Right? So more than this, the important point is what? The direction. That's what I want you people to tell me, right? So direction, tan theta is equal to what?
(30/40).
Tell me properly.
40/30, sir.
It is minus 40/30. Right? So this and this will get cancelled, minus 4/3. So what exactly is happening here is, this velocity of car or train. This velocity of car, which is 40 j cap. Right? So tan theta is equal to minus 4 by 3 means, see, I'll tell you one angle which you can remember, okay? There's a very important angle. This is equal to 3 by 5. When sin theta is 3 by 5, cos theta is automatically 4 by 5. Then tan theta is 3 by 4. Whenever you see something like this, then the value of theta is 37 degrees. You can remember this. This is a very famous angle. It will be 37 degrees. Similarly, sometimes in the questions you will see sin theta is 4 by 5, cos theta is 3 by 5, and tan theta is 4 by 3. Then the value of theta is 53 degrees, exactly the complementary angle of it. Okay. So here, are you seeing tan theta as 3 by 4 or 4 by 3?
Minus 4 by 3.
So it is 4 by 3. 4 by 3 means 53 degrees. So 53 degrees will take place in the second quadrant. Okay. It will take place in the second quadrant. See, because you need some knowledge about inverse trigonometric functions. I cannot explain everything now, but as of now, just go with the flow. That's it. So what are we trying to say? So this will be velocity of the train as minus 30 I cap. Are you guys able to understand this? So this velocity of train, if this is 30 I cap, if I reverse its direction by 180 degrees, it will be minus 30 I cap. Am I right? Because the velocities are called as opposite vectors. Right? Then, what is the angle that I got? I got the angle here as 53 degrees. So if this is 53 degrees, how much will this be? 90 minus 53, that will be 37 degrees. That's what they have given us as 36 degrees 52 minutes. It's approximated to 37. Okay. So 37 degrees, how are you going to report the answer? 37 degrees.
West of north.
That's it. Okay.
Sir,
So that is why. Tell me.
Sir, you said for calculating tan theta, we should take the coefficients of the second term and as numerator and the first term as denominator. Sir.
I am able to understand what you're trying to say. You're looking at this expression, you're saying this is the second term, this is the first term, right?
Yes, sir.
But that's not the point. That's not what I told. What did I say? I told coefficient of j cap divided by coefficient of I cap.
Sir, then why is a negative sign?
Sorry?
Why negative sign, sir, then?
Because you have a minus, no? That's why I put a minus.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So do this one. We did a similar problem yesterday, you remember? I think it's the same problem, not similar. Same problem. Only thing is there we did using direct vectors, that is parallelogram law of vectors. Here we are doing relative velocity. By now, I hope you understand I hope you understood that they both are the same. Right? We are just giving a different notation. That's it. So rain is falling vertically with a speed of 35 meters per second. A woman rides a bicycle at a speed of 12 meters per second in east to west direction. What is the direction in which she should hold the umbrella? So now tell me, velocity of rain is how much?
35 minus I cap.
Minus?
J cap.
Minus j cap, because it's falling vertically downwards. Similarly, velocity of bicycle is
12 meter per second minus I cap.
minus j cap, because if she's moving from east to minus I cap. Now what are they asking? In the east to west. So what is the direction in which she should hold the umbrella? So she should hold the umbrella exactly in the direction opposite to which she is feeling the rain is falling. What is the actual direction in which the rain is falling? Vertically downwards. But since she is moving, with respect to her, what will be the direction of rain? Huh? With respect to her, what is the direction? So minus 12 I cap minus plus
35.
35 j cap.
35 j cap. So this is what is going to happen. So she should hold it in this direction. So she exactly in the direction opposite to this. So tan theta will be equal to how much?
Minus
I'm sorry,
35
what?
by 12.
1 minute, 1 minute. I made a mistake. Can someone tell me?
It should be minus I cap minus j.
No, I made a mistake. What did I take? Velocity of the bicycle with respect to rain.
It should be velocity
So
of
who's-
rain with bicycle.
It is the velocity of rain with respect to bicycle because who is the observer here?
The
The
woman.
person in the bicycle, because rain cannot observe the person on the bicycle. So velocity of the velocity VR, no? Velocity of rain with respect to the person on the bicycle. It is velocity of R vector minus velocity of B vector. So what is this? It is minus 35 j cap plus 12 I cap. Correct? Huh? So this is which quadrant, guys? So observe this.
Both
Minus-
quadrants, sir.
It is so 12 I cap minus 35 j cap. So what is the meaning of this? Actually, the rain is falling vertically, but what will happen? The person in the bicycle, the lady will feel as if it is coming like this. And why is it happening? It is because she has some velocity associated with it. Okay. So this is the velocity of rain with respect to bicycle. Are you guys clear with this? If this is VB minus 12 I cap, then what will this be? This will be minus VB cap, which is 12 I cap. Are you guys able to understand this?
Yes, sir.
Right? So what are they asking? What is the direction in which she should hold the umbrella? In which direction is she supposed to hold the umbrella? Exactly in the direction opposite to this. So her umbrella should be held like this. Right? So since direction means angle, what is tan theta equal to? Tell me, right? Tan theta is equal to 35 divided by, it is minus 35 divided by 12. Right? So this is the direction in which she is supposed to hold. Okay, 35 divided by 12, if you calculate the value of theta, it will come out as 19 degrees. Okay. Is that clear? So it's a similar problem like yesterday, but the only difference there is they ask you what is the resultant, I think. What is the resultant velocity was the question there. Here the question is about what is the direction in which the umbrella is supposed to be held. Shall we move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
So tell me how to solve this. So there is a person who's moving. So there is a person moving in the eastward direction with a velocity of how much?
4.8 kilometers per hour.
4.8 I cap kmph. And rain appears to fall vertically downwards with a speed of 6.4 kilometer per inch. So rain is falling downwards with a speed of
6.4 j kilometers per hour.
6.4 minus j cap kmph. Find the actual speed and direction of the rain. It is not rain, okay? It is rain. So what have they given? Rain appears to fall. It is not the actual velocity. Whereas it is the velocity of the rain with respect to whom?
With respect to the person.
Person.
Respect to the person that is given. Now you calculate the actual velocity of rain. No? Make it fast. Sorry, I didn't get it. So velocity of 1.6. Let me check. Velocity of the rain with respect to this velocity of rain minus velocity of person. So this is 6.4 with a minus j cap is equal to velocity of rain vector minus what is the velocity of person? It is 4.8 I cap, correct? So it is 4.8 I cap. So the velocity of rain vector is equal to 4.8 I cap minus 6.4 j cap. Which quadrant is it? Fourth quadrant means what is the actual direction in which the rain is falling? The rain is actually falling in this direction. But since he is moving, it is appearing as if he is going in the north direction. So what is the actual velocity of rain? It is 4.8 I cap minus 6.4. Right. So what? But they're asking, find the actual speed. Speed is the magnitude. It is root of 4.8 square minus 6.4 square. See, you need not multiply and solve. I'll tell you a method. See, 4.8 and 6.4 are multiples of what? 16. Right. 16 is a perfect square that you can think of. So square root of, can I write it as, plus 1.6, observe. Can I write it as 1.6 into 3 square plus, how can I write this as 1.6 into 4 square? So what will happen inside the square root is square root of 1.6 square into 3 square plus 1.6 square into 4 square. What can I take out common?
2.6 square.
So if the 1.6 square comes out of a square root, how will it come out as? It will come out as 1.6 into what is left out inside the square root, that is 3 square plus 4 square. What is 3 square plus 4 square under a root? 3, 4 and 5 are Pythagorean triplets. So 3 square plus 4 square will be 25. Under a root will be 5. So 1.6 into 5 is nothing but
kilometer.
8. You understand? So you need not sit and multiply the whole process, the whole thing. So answer is 8 kilometer per hour. Direction, I believe you can solve it. Okay, direction I already told you. If you take this as theta, tan theta is vertical divided by horizontal. That is 6.4 divided by 4.8. 6.4 divided by 4.8. See, going forward, now you can ignore the minus sign. Minus sign, I wanted to explain it. Going forward, you can take only the magnitude because you have already taken the proper directions. You have already, your diagram is perfect now. Okay. So 6.4 divided by 4.8 is 4 divided by 3, dividing the numerator and denominator with 1.6. So 4 by 3 is tan theta is equal to 4 by 3. What angle?
53 degrees.
Is it matching? 53 degrees, 7 minutes and 33 seconds is the exact value. 53 degrees is the approximated value which you can remember. So 53 degrees with the horizontal. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Easy only, right?
Yes, sir. Easy only, sir.
So you guys try the 8th one. Just do it, no? With that, we'll stop. So remaining problems, there are only 2 problems that are left. I'll send it, send the assignment, you solve it. If there is any doubt, we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. A ship is streaming towards east with a speed of 12 meters per second. A woman runs across the deck at a speed of 5 meters per second. The direction, right angles to the direction of motion. It's repeated, okay? Right angles to the direction of motion of ship, that is north. What is the velocity of the woman relative to sea? Again, a simple problem. Nothing is there.
No doubt, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, speed and velocity are equal, sir.
No. Velocity is a vector. Magnitude of velocity is speed. But here your doubt is what is the velocity they're asking. How will you know whether you are supposed to
Yes,
take
sir.
this? That's fine. I'll suggest you see whenever there is a velocity asked, no, report the answer in terms of vector and the scalar part also for safer side.
Sir, no, sir. For calculating, for example, we are calculating VWS only, no, sir. Since they gave us,
VWS.
we can write
Yeah.
it as magnitude of VWS is equal to root of 12 square plus 5 square, no, sir.
You can do that. That will be 13 because 12, 5 and 13 are Pythagorean.
Sir,
You can do that. But
magnitude of VWS, no, sir. Like, by writing it,
while writing itself, if you take then whatever method I taught till now is waste. I am trying, see, my objective is to impose that every problem can be solved using one method. You do in that method, at the end you can do that.
no, sir.
Just because you...
No, sir. Here should I take speed as velocity, sir?
See, what is given? Speed, no, speed with direction is given, no. Just because you see speed, it doesn't mean it's speed. Direction is given, no.
Okay, sir.
Speed with direction is velocity. Well, tell me. So velocity of ship is 12 I cap. Velocity of the woman is how much? 5 J cap. So what is the velocity of woman with respect to ship? Actually, it should be ship. So that will be 5 J cap minus 12 I cap. So this is in the vector form. So if you take the scalar part of it, it will be square root of 5 square plus 12 square.
Plus 12 square.
13 meter per second. So if you want to draw the direction for this relative velocity, then which direction will it be? Look at the quadrant in which it is there, no?
Quadrant.
5 J cap. Huh?
First quadrant.
Second quadrant.
It is in the second quadrant because
Second
I is
quadrant.
negative and I is negative and y is positive.
Okay, sir.
So this is the velocity of. So means for a person who is moving like this, when this woman is trying to run, for this guy, it will appear as if she is actually going in this direction. Okay, so that is the meaning. Direction, I hope you can find it off. Tan theta is equal to 5 by 12. 5 by 12 is that value, 22 degrees, 37 minutes. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So we'll stop with this. The 9th and the 10th problem, I'll send you this document. The 9th and the 10th problem, you guys try. If there is any doubt, we'll discuss tomorrow and I'll clear all your doubts of yesterday's assignment. Okay? Tomorrow's class, we'll finish this chapter. See, if you're able to understand vectors, telling it again, since you have understood all these things, see how easy the other part of physics would be. Okay?
Sir, the test 1 dimension and 2 dimension, you know, sir. Motion in 1 dimension and 2 dimension.
Yes.
Sir, will include relative velocity also, sir.
That is there. No, that is 2-dimensional.
No, sir. Today, what you thought will you include there, sir?
Yes, it will be there.
This also, sir.
Yes, yes. Completely end to end, whatever I taught.
Sir, the full lesson motion in a plane, that full lesson fully, sir.
Full lesson. The motion of plane has vectors. Vectors I've already taught. Relative velocity, projectile motion, and uniform circular motion. Okay. So you will have derivations, definitions, and the problems. So I want to see how much you have practiced. Okay, wait, I'm sharing the sheet now so that I don't forget.